Who's that? Okay. Okay, hello everybody. My name's Arlene. We are on the Monat Hair Sessions. Today we're doing the supportive partners of Monat. So I'm just going to get going into it. The person that's going to go first is Jamar, because he's got 13% on his phone. So go ahead, Jamar. Share your story with us, please.
Awesome. Let me pull up the chat right here so I can have it in line. But I'll start with my name is Jamar Wright out of Indiana. My fantastic partner and the actual person signed up with Monat is my wife, Leslie Wright. She's an absolute superstar. I'm blessed to have her as my queen. And our background is I've been working with Verizon Wireless for the last 11 years. And I have to say I've been blessed to be a part of the Verizon family. I've worked in the retail channel all the way through management, and then I got into training, and I was a trainer for around 7 years with Verizon. And then here recently, I accepted a promotion on the agent side of the Verizon house as a director of business sales. So I've really had a really strong career and background in sales, servicing, training, and just really love everything that Verizon's done for me personally. It also provided a lot of stability that we could jump out there and take a leap of faith with Leslie and her stardom and her abilities and skill sets behind the chair and as a massage therapist. So we've been blessed to have our own business, a salon and spa in Noblesville, Indiana, for the last 11 years. And we've seen steady growth over that 11-year mark, and she just really rocked it out. One of the things that, if I look at how long we've been in this business, I am so thankful that February we jumped on board with Monat, and there's a number of reasons why I'm extremely thankful for joining the Monat team and Monat family. One of which, when I look at question number 4, was what was your life like before? Leslie and I are MLM junkies. Like, I mean, literally, her mom was involved in the Amway business for a very long time, and we grew up around Amway. So we bought in wholeheartedly from the jump when we were 18 years old that MLM is a great thing, and that you can really, reach a lot of success and have your own business without having a big, huge startup fee or loans you got to go take out and different things that a traditional business requires. So we've always been gung-ho, and we've tried them all. I mean, I've tried Mana B, I've tried Abocare, It Works. I mean, you name it, we've tried it. And at the end of the day, what we were looking for was, what is that business that is really going to complement our natural business, our organic business, which is hair and massage. Being a salon and spa, it was a no-brainer that we're spending money on products every single month anyway. And Leslie just really saw this Monat product. She had it used on her by our cousin back home, and just fell in love with it. So we just jumped right in head first. And Leslie's just a really huge go-getter. She doesn't slow down for anything. So I'm not surprised that we were able to win the trip and earn the trip to Vegas. And I'm thanking her for that every single day, because it just goes so hand in hand with what we do. And I find it dumb to be buying products from other vendors when they don't give me any money back. And just the Monat product itself is elite, it's premium, and we get paid back, and we have an opportunity to help people and help other people generate an income because of it. So, life before Monat was an MLM. I won't call it a nightmare, I'll just call it a process. And I appreciate that process because I learned a lot about the MLM business and how to appreciate a good one when you get a hold of it. And so when I think about, what we found being involved and how our life has changed, we are gung-ho. We've just found the one. We found the diamond that is around, very new to the multi-level marketing industry as a whole. Only 3 years out here and rocking $300 million. I mean, this is crazy. Sharing $100 million right back into us. And I love these facts. I love these numbers. I love the product itself and regrowing hair and things that it's doing for our generation of people. So I'm really excited about that. And it goes so hand in hand with what we do anyway and what we stand for as a salon and spa that it just is a no-brainer. So I'm really, really thankful for this opportunity. One of the things that I'll say more personal for Leslie and how Monat has really helped her grow is the first 9.5 years of this 11-year track as business owners, Leslie worked by herself, and we were just a small outfit in a very small salon in a studio space. And she got very comfortable, but then she wanted to grow. And so we took that leap of faith, and now we're in a 2,000 square foot location. We've got 7 employees, and this is just over the last year and a half. And I have to say, that was very new for Leslie. For me, it was easy. It was like the back of my hand, managing people, developing people, helping people. That's what I do. But I do that for Verizon. And for my own business, Revive, she really struggled out the gate with, how do I manage other people? How do I get other people to be as good as me, or be their best at least? And so when Monat came around, it forced her hand to learn how to build a team, to not work on your own anymore, and to really trust her abilities to lead people and practice that. And she was firsthand in it. So I'm really thankful that, that change took place, and it allowed her to be a way better leader for the Monat team we have, as well as for our Revive team, because at the end of the day, I mean, Revive is my bread and butter. That's my retirement plan, and I can't wait to pass it down to my children. And I have 2 daughters, and they'll have the opportunity to continue with Monat and continue with Revive and all the above. So if I would say anything to anybody who's skeptical about joining the Monat family, I just want to say, first and foremost, what are you skeptical about? And help you identify, what that is, and why you might be skeptical. And as we uncover what that is and why, well, then I have a number of reasons why you could overcome that fear and look success down the drain, and just look success right in the eye and be excited about it. Because, we learned knowledge plus action equals freedom while we were out there in Vegas. And that's something that stuck with me. Get the real knowledge and get the things you need to know about Monat, take action on it, and you will have freedom. You'll have financial freedom. You'll have a lot of success, and you'll just have a lot of friends and networking and family, big family to love on. So that's what I would stop with for now, unless you have something else, Arlene, you'd like me to comment on or ask a question about.
Well, no. The only thing I was going to add is that your perspective as like a salon spa owner, if you notice the numbers of the Monat line, particularly jumping out over others, your sales.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm a money motivated person. I mean, I love people, and I'm a people person. We're in the prospecting business. We learned that from MJ also. We are in the prospecting business. At the end of the day, I've always told Verizon, hey, I'll do this. I just won't do it for free. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Thank you for sharing, Jamar. That's awesome. Your perspective is awesome as a salon owner.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on. The next person we have speaking actually is Tony Baca. Could you please share your story, Tony? Sweet darling.
I would love to, Arlene. Yeah, like Arlene said, my name's Tony Vaca. And kind of my perspective on the whole Monat, of course, it's amazing, and it's given us a lot of opportunities, for my wife and everything. As far as being a supportive partner, for us, I guess our background is, we've been married for 13, 14 years, and my wife has a hair salon in the house, and she's always worked out of the house and this and that. And as far as MLMs, maybe did a little isogenics, but it was more for the product. And then she kind of jumped in on the Nerium for a little bit, and the success wasn't there. And then about a little over a year and a half ago maybe, she went up to Canada over to Arlene's house. So the next thing I know, she's selling shampoo and driving a Cadillac. So, but as far as for me, kind of my background is I work for a city government here. I work for the Parks Department, and I've been there, close to 20 years now. So, and then also I was a high school, middle school, little kids wrestling coach for 17 years. So, kind of my perspective of being supportive and everything was, I guess, more so just to kind of support Renee and whatever it was she needed to do, even, if I thought it was, something that didn't need to be done or anything like that. It was, she's kind of the rock star of the family. So, being supportive for her, and for us, that's, running the kids around and, making dinner and kind of taking care of the household a little bit, so I can give her the time and the opportunity to, go do things Monet related. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's been amazing. I'm totally fine with the way it is, and she's doing great. So I'm just trying to be supportive that way.
Well, what do you think about those guys? Because you're like, you're Italian guys. So, like, what do you think about those guys that think it's like a scam and stuff like that? Like, for any of those wives that are out there that have unsupportive, like really unsupportive, because they're all out there. We know they're out there, right?
Yeah, and I think that's just they're not very educated on it. Maybe just because there are a lot, and I have run into those guys, like guys I work with and stuff, and it is. I mean, you're not going to really change their opinion, but it's unfortunate, really, because it's an amazing opportunity. And if you look at the business model and things like that, it's amazing. As hard as you're willing to work, the company will pay you in many different ways. So whether that be a trip to Las Vegas or a car or financially or free product or whatever. But yeah, I run into guys I work with and they say the same thing. And I just think in the back of my head, like, gosh, it's really unfortunate because it's not a scam.
They're just missing the boat is what you're saying.
Totally.
Okay.
But
thanks for jumping on, Tony. You rock. I know you were doing all the errands with the kids just now, so thanks for jumping on. The next person we have coming up is Doug Strauss. Doug, are you actually available to talk? You're on the phone.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go for it. Can you share your story, please?
Oh, good. Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Doug Strauss, and my wife of 23 years is Kristen Strauss, and together we have 9 beautiful children. And so for us to venture and for her to do any kind of work outside the home is unique, and something we've never experienced really. One time in our marriage, my wife actually worked outside the home, and so this is really unique for us. And I've definitely, when it comes to MLM, I'm a big skeptic. My wife and I were kind of hit hard a couple of times by people that were posing to be friends and then weren't friends, and this kind of left us high and dry. We realized that it was just about the business, and so but we buy a lot of products from some friends now who are in one form or another of Amway, and so I kind of wish I would have stuck with it 23 years ago and just kind of slowly worked it, but so we've kind of had a bad taste in our mouth about that kind of marketing. And so when Nate came to our doorstep, I'm like, uh-oh. I was one of those skeptical husbands, skeptical people in general. And then our daughter, who is a nurse at Children's Hospital, tried the product and really liked it and wanted to kind of get into it. And slow down, Joe. I just picked up my son from high school football practice. This week is homecoming, and he's driving, and we just passed an accident, so we gotta be safe here. So where was I? So
you're talking about how your daughter was trying the product.
Oh yeah. So my daughter liked it, and she's like the level-headed one in the family. She's our firstborn and a nurse at Children's Hospital, and she liked it. And I looked at her in the eyes. I'm like, "How do you really like this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is really good." And like, she lives at all the stores that sell all those products, all those hair products. She has one of everything, and so to our detriment at times when she was growing up. And so she really liked it. And then I looked at it, and I just the smell. Honestly, I mean, I'm kind of just speaking from the heart. My favorite Monat product is actually the body spray, and you guys might call it hairspray, but it smells so good. Sometimes we just spray it on our bodies, and then the Rejuvenate brownies. You guys got to try the Rejuvenate brownies. So we put that oil in our brownies, and I'm just kidding. So I just kind of
you're putting Rejuvenate in your brownies?
No. But marijuana is legal in Washington, so it just sounds.
Oh
like
my gosh!
But no, I like Rejuvenique. I don't know why. I just love to put it on my skin. And even though it's supposed to go with your hair and whatnot, I'm a little off the radar. But so, anyways, I have just really enjoyed the products myself. And then my father-in-law started using it, and then I saw a little peach fuzz on his scalp, and then I'm like, okay, that's real. And so I kind of made this decision that I need to really support my wife in this, because it's brought a whole new life into her and energy. And so we're really at the ground level. I mean, Renee has really helped us out a lot, helped out Kristen, and I've been supportive as I can. I mean, here it's 7:30 at night, and I'm still not home, on the way home from work, picking up kids from football and whatnot. But
well, you do have 9.
Yeah, I know it. And so that's a challenge, for my wife right now, to be able to try and manage the business and our kids and do it in an efficient way. And the thing is that we have so many friends, and she's so honest that once she really kicks in, I think it's going to explode for her, because people trust her and believe her, and we don't have any burnt bridges, and we've never approached anyone and in any other way for business or for income. And so when she really kicks in, it's going to be fun to watch. The first guy who spoke, I mean, he could be a spokesman for the whole program, because it was kind of hard to follow that guy. I
think you make really valid points, just because it's like there's no excuse. Like, you guys have 9 kids, and she's rocking it, and she's doing well. So thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, the next person we got coming up is actually Dwayne Brown.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
All right, I'm Dwayne Brown from Tulsa, Oklahoma. My wife is Tara Brown. She's a market mentor, and we've been doing that. She's been doing it for since January. A little background on myself. I'm prior military. I spent 13 years in the military, in the Air Force. Flew on various aircraft. Ended my career on AC-130 gunships. After my last trip from Afghanistan, I ended up getting sick with some kind of crazy lung disease, and I was medically retired at that point. So didn't do 20 years, but just like I did 20 years, I'm a crazy vet now. But when we got started with this, or when she got started with this, I say we because we're kind of in this together, but well, a little bit of background. My daughter developed alopecia universalis about 2 years ago. And she had no hair on her body, and we went to dermatologists and tried every known substance and steroid and this and that known to man to try to get her hair to grow back. And through the time of this period, we had people from Plexus. We even had a cousin of mine give my wife samples from Monat. And we dismissed them because there's no known cure for alopecia. Well, eventually my wife decided to start trying it, and within how long you think, Tara? It was a couple of weeks, a month. Once my daughter started using it, we started seeing growth back. And she's been doing it 10 months now, and she has a full head of hair.
Sure. Sorry, so, she had like a bald head before, and now she's got a full head of hair.
She has no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair at all. She's 9 years old.
I thought our line didn't help with universalis. That's amazing.
Yeah, well.
So basically, for people who don't know the difference, alopecia areata is the little spots, and universalis is you literally have no hair everywhere. So that's incredible. I've never heard that before.
It blew my mind. Now I don't know if that's going to work for everyone, but it did for her, and and so at that point I'm like, this stuff's legit, And my wife started using it. Her hair looks amazing. My beard feels.
Sorry, can I ask you what exactly you're using on your daughter, like of the products that you have?
What are we using? Classic Confidence and the supplements.
Okay.
And she does the spray, right? The IRT. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm not up to speed on everything. But yeah, so yeah, once we started doing that, yeah. So January, she decided to start selling it, and I mean, it's just blossomed from there. You know.
Is she driving a Cadillac?
We just ordered one. It'll be here on Monday.
Rock and roll, you guys! Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. So as you know, when I got out of the military, I kind of, you know, stumbled around a little bit trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I have a background in construction, so I started doing remodeling work, which is not really great for a guy that has lung problems. So I did that for a year and a half to make ends meet. Once she started in January, it started picking up speed, you know. February, you know, April, May, she's making enough money where once I was done with the houses I was remodeling, I could actually start throttling back and start taking care of myself better. So at this point, I'm sort of the stay-at-home dad that, you know, I kind of take care of all the household chores right now. It's kind of my job. So to give her time to do everything she needs to do with the business. So it's really, I mean, it came on at the right time for us to where my health, it was starting to take another downturn, and now I can actually just take it easy, you know.
That's amazing.
Work on hobbies and
Yeah,
build cars. Take care of me and take care of the kids, you know. Her business. Excuse me.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. I mean, that is seriously awesome, and for all your stories and everything, it really is awesome. And that your life is really changing at this point. The next person, I'm going to switch it up. The next person I'm going to get to speak actually is Karen Sharp. Are you ready, Karen?
Sure, I'm ready.
Switch it up. Bring in girls.
Okay, so girls are hips. Okay, hi guys. I kind of have a unique situation here because I'm really one of the only female spouses in Monat. My husband is an associate executive director. He's the only male director in the company right now. We've been in Monat for 2 years. We joined July 2015, and it's really been kind of a woman's company to date as far as the market partners. So I'm really happy to see that this group is on here with the men, because I think it's really important to get the men involved, because I think it can really take off with the guys. So anyway, so I'm, like I said, I'm kind of in a different position than y'all are. So Buddy and I, we've been married almost 20 years. And Buddy's been a hairstylist. He's owned his own salons for almost 40 years, 39 years. He was the stylist for the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders for 5 years back in the Aikman days. And he's done a lot, seen a lot. And he has been behind the chair, like I said, 39 years. And he basically, when you're a stylist, you don't really have a 401k or a retirement plan or anything that's going to, you know, help you when you decide, you know, your arms hurt or your feet hurt or your hands can't cut hair anymore. And so when I have been in a couple of MLMs in the past, Plex is one of them, and I never really was successful, and Buddy was never really into it, as far as he was like, yeah, you know. So when we were approached with this opportunity, he was not excited about it. He has never promoted a product in 38 years. He's retailed products, but has never really focused on one product, just because, first of all, he could say, yes, this is a shampoo, but it really didn't give the results. I mean, every shampoo was kind of the same. And so he never really wanted to promote one specific brand until Monat. When they came to him in the beginning, he was very skeptical. He was not he was not a believer. He said no for, I think it took them 4 times to basically present the opportunity to him. And finally he said, okay, I will try it in my salon. So we did. We have a 5,000 square foot salon in Dallas, and he gave a lot of the product to a lot of our stylists and said, I want you to take this and disprove it. Whatever they're saying this product can do, I want you to tell me that it can't. And after about, I don't know, 2 weeks of that, of the stylists using the product and doing different things with it, they all said, this product is really great. And Buddy agreed with them. And so he was totally on board after that fact. He was all in, especially when he knew that after all of the companies that he had retailed, Redken, Paul Mitchell, I don't know all of them. I'm not a stylist, so, but he said, this is the only company that has ever rewarded me for promoting it to someone. And not only am I promoting it, I believe in it because I'm seeing the results. And all of these other Avedas and L'Oreal's and Kerastase, they're great, but they're not growing, they can't grow your hair back. That's the big difference between these products and the other professional that they call products. So that's kind of how we got started. Just a little background on me. I have been in the legal world for 25 years as a paralegal, and I in August, I guess, I retired from being a paralegal so that I could help him focus on this. We're doing this as a couple full-time, or I am doing it now full-time. He is still behind the chair, but he has been able to cut back quite a bit. And we have been on several amazing trips. We've been to Maui, we've been to Vegas, we've been to he's been to Cabo. We went on the director's trip to Arizona last month, and this company has just been incredible for our lives. It has given us a plan B. It has given us something that if he woke up tomorrow and his fingers won't move because his fingers he's becoming, he's getting arthritis in his shoulders and his joints because he's just been standing behind that chair for so long. That this has given us a whole new outlook and opportunity for retirement. We have a 13-year-old daughter that we still have to, get a car for her and put her through college and all of those things that everybody, when you have kids. And so it's just been it's been a blessing for us and for him especially, being that he is in his, he's slowly going down from where he was as far as working behind the chair. He's getting tired and he's getting just slowing down. So this has given us something that we can fall back on and rely on, that we know this company is going amazing places quickly, which has been such a godsend. And we have a Cadillac. He's the only male director, like I said, in the company. So that's been really, really awesome, and we're just very blessed and very happy to be a part of such an amazing company that's so good to all of their market partners and their VIPs. And I don't know,
that's really awesome. But thank you, Karen. So I don't know if you mentioned, because I was fiddling with the phone here, but Buddy was the official hairdresser for the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
Yes.
And he is also a hair extension specialist and stylist. Is there any other kind of specialties that he does that I'm not aware of?
Well, he's just a color artist. His biggest thing right now, his biggest specialty right now is hair extensions. It's about 90% of his business right now. And he custom blends and all of that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what he's focusing on now.
Yeah, so that's huge to get his testimony with. I like that point of getting his staff to disprove it.
Yes, and he was all about that, because he was not going to he's never going to put his reputation on the line for a product that does not work. And so he said, I will use it and I will try it and I will disprove it, is basically what he said. And he couldn't.
Love it.
He couldn't. So.
Love it. That's so awesome. Thank you for representing the females, Karen.
Yay. Yay.
Okay. The next person we have, very, very special. Not that you aren't special, Karen, but it's my darling husband, Derek. Could you please share your Director of IT experience? Thank you so much, Karen.
Hello, everybody. As you know, I'm coming to you from the bedroom. Arlene's in the living room, so long ways away. I went to school and took business. I'm an IT director by trade. I've been working in IT for almost 25 years, managing people for probably 21, 22 years of that. We were living in Barcelona about 2 years ago, and Arlene came to me and said, I want to go into network marketing. Actually, she went on a conference with her sister, which I thought was a girls' weekend. And she calls me after day one and says, hey, we're moving back to Canada because I want to join this network marketing group. And I'm like, no way in hell. This wasn't happening. And I was definitely not a supportive husband. I then went to proceed, and I created spreadsheets and numbers for 3 days to prove to her why we're not moving back to Canada for her to try this. And after the end of the 3 days, I'm like, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, okay, let's give her a shot. So we ended up moving back to Canada. She jumped in, tried that company that she was so enthusiastic about, and it wasn't the right company. It wasn't the right fit. It didn't have the right products. Then she came across Monat, and wow, what a storm that has been. When you find the right products that fit, non-toxic products in a marketplace, that there really isn't any competition. It's a consumable product. You see what happens with that. And what would I say to skeptical partners and husbands out there? Look at what's happening for the growth of the company. The company's growth is going through the roof. Our team is growing, 20 to 40% every single month in sales. And, if you do the math, you grow 20 to 40% every single month going forward. What's going to be like in 2-3 years from now? It's just like phenomenal out there. You need to be supportive. You need to know it's a lot of work. When your spouse is signing up for this, they are going to have to work hard to really see success, but it's so worth it. And you just need to be there, picking up the balls that are going to get dropped by your partner. You're going to have to do more with your kids. You're going to have to cook more meals. You're going to have to do other things that your partner would have done. Arlene retired me as an IT director. I was a 6-figure earner, and now I'm supporting her in the business and the team. And, I do a lot for the business as well, but, I'm not spending 13 hours a day at the office. Now I'm actually spending, probably 10 hours a day supporting the business. And it gives us a lot of latitude. Like, my brother's been sick for, about since January, and it allowed me a lot of time off to spend with him and help him and do things like that, where I wouldn't have had that type of ability if it wasn't for Monat in our life. So, just be there, a supportive spouse, and, know that you're going to have to suffer a little bit through this process, but it is far worth the rewards, all the trips out there, Cadillac, and then also the income that comes with it. So as it moves up and up in the company. So
I do have a little question for you, darling husband. Is there a weird identity crisis happening when you flip over, when you're the breadwinner?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a weird identity crisis. It's like, and it's nice actually. I'm kind of loving to get to know my daughter again and spending lots of hours with her. For those of you who don't know, we took an 81-day trip this summer, and we went traveling around the west coast of U.S. and Canada, introducing Monat. Would have never been able to do something if I was working a traditional job like I was in the past.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you, darling husband, for sharing from the living room and the bedroom. Okay, the last person speaking is actually, thank you so much, Josh, for jumping on. He is actually the powerhouse husband of the #1 income earner in the company. So Josh, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I'm Josh Stevens, my lovely wife, Julie Stevens. Most of you may know her. Senior Executive Director. Most of you guys started because of the product, which we're kind of on the opposite ends. Like when she started she saw the comp plan. She actually signed up and was in the business for a week before she even had the shampoo in her hands, which is pretty crazy. I thought she was crazy. But I believed in her, and I knew that she would do good things if the company was going to be. I didn't know anything about the company, but you just have to support your spouse, and as long as it's good in whatever they want to do. And so that's kind of where we started 3 years ago, back in September of 2014. So it's pretty crazy what has happened since then. And yeah, I mean, I want to keep it short and sweet, but
what's your background though? Can you share your
what's my background? I work for a company that services and installs like money counting machines in casinos and banks. It's not just money counting machines. I work on all kinds of stuff, shredders and check encoders, check money counters, coin wrappers. And I've been in the business I've been with this company for 10 years. And I started out in sales and hated it. A lot of people probably know that I'm not like real, like, people's person, like outgoing, but once you get to know me, I loosen up. And but as far as walking into somebody that I don't know, I'm not real good at like talking and stuff. So it didn't really work out. But service was I work on cars, like that's my hobby, and I build race cars and stuff. So the service side, tinkering with stuff, tearing stuff apart, putting it back together, that was right up my alley. And so when my boss came to me, it was like, sales, you're doing okay, but I think we could hire someone else in this position and probably do better. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So they offered me a service job. I took it, and I've been doing it for 10 years. And so that's about it.
Are you still doing that now?
I am. I work 4 days on and have 4 days off. So I work for 4 days, and then on my 4 days off, it's been kind of crazy lately because we're building a house, and it's either working my job, traveling for Monat, or going to pick house stuff. So like I haven't had like 1 second to myself, or that pretty much as a family to like. I just was thinking about this the other day. Like we haven't been able to take Annie anywhere in the past. I don't know. So that's really rough trying to find that balance right now with family, Monat, and my work, and building the house. So we're ready to close on the house and try to schedule, like we schedule trips like on the whim. Like I mean we go places like almost 3 times a month. So it's pretty rough, but we need to do a better job scheduling our
you need
trips.
to do your Market Partner Academy skill building.
Yeah.
It's got scheduling in the back there. I just did it today. No, I have a question for you. So how come you're not retiring? Just a curious question.
I don't know if we can make income claims or anything on here, but I told my wife when she first started that if she could make $20,000 a month, that I would quit. But at the time, I was working 5 days a week, and I really did want to quit. And then time went on, and she made that, and then she said, I told her if she would make $50,000 a month, I would quit. And I was still working 5 days a week, and then she hit that, and then they changed me to 4 on 4 off, and I was like, okay, you're gonna have to make a lot of money for me to quit my job now, because I don't know if anyone knows, but if you can work 4 days on and have 4 days off and make well over 6 figures a year, and have vacation and have medical, like health insurance, and it's a pretty good job. So anyways, and now we're where we're at now, and I'm still working. But yeah.
The one, can you clarify the story? Because I didn't really know your story that much, but I think I heard that when you guys first started, you guys were in foreclosure. Is that correct?
No.
No. Ooh, gossip. Okay.
No.
But it was
nope.
the last bit of her money or something like that? She used a credit card or something like that?
She used a credit card. Kyla was in foreclosure,
Oh, that's cool.
which is direct to her.
Okay.
No, we've only owned one house. Surprisingly, we've been married for 11 years and we've owned one house in this little bitty town of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. And it was like $69,000 and it was 720 square feet. So that's the only house we've ever owned. We've rented some nice houses, but so we're really excited to get our house closed. But no, we were never in foreclosure. We just did a video the other day about talking about living above your means and living below your means. And we like to live above our means. Like, we like nice stuff. And so we would live paycheck to paycheck because we liked nice stuff. So we would have like 5 cars, and we would take how much I made a month, and then figure in your rent, and then how many cars we can afford, and then figure out groceries. So, because me and my wife are both car people. Like, that's how I actually started dating her, because I used to go to Tulsa Raceway Park, and that was actually our first date, was to the drag strip. So anyways, so we've always been big car people. It's been a big part of our lives. And so that's what, we were broke, but we didn't have to be broke, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
So we lived above our means before.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. From where you're coming from and where you are now, did you ever imagine 3 years ago you would ever be where you are right now? Ever?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, I'm still dreaming. Like, wake me up. Like, it's unbelievable. It really is. And I still have a hard time grasping it.
And you made a really good point. You guys come from a fairly small town. Like, I never heard of your town before. So what do you think makes your wife be the rock star she is in that small town, to be the dominant force she is now? Like, what do you think's her kind of,
her go-to attitude, and doesn't really care what people think, and she does it because she wants to, and because she can, and she's a natural born rock star. Ever since I've met her, she excels in so many, like, how do I say this? Like, she excels in areas of her life that would be successful. Like, she doesn't, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But she'll do whatever it takes. She's not a quitter. She'll just does whatever. And she's teachable. She's coachable. So in our, whatever she reads books and listens to audio tapes 24/7 and soaks it all up and applies it. She doesn't listen to it to waste time. She actually applies everything. She takes notes. I could show you, she has like 30 notebooks laying around the house with like just quotes and stuff. And we'll be having a conversation, and she'll be like, "Oh, well, you know that Jim Rohn said," or, she has all these, like, I don't know. She just retains the information and uses it instead of just in one ear out the other.
That's cool to get the inside skinny on the Julie. Thank you for sharing that. And sidebar,
Yeah, no problem.
We totally went off tangent, by the way, on keeping the theme of, but it's really cool to hear your story, because it's true. We never really hear from you, right? You're kind of like the quiet, supportive spouse. So when guys come up to you, and do they ever challenge you with the skeptical pyramid thing anymore? Or is that kind of a done deal?
No.
Did you get that?
No. Yeah, we got that a lot at first, but no, whenever you got people passing other people up, that right there can squash that myth. I mean, you got people passing people up all the time, and everywhere in the ranks, all the way from MMB all the way up to SED. There's people passing people up. It can happen for anyone. There's people that are making over $100,000 a month and are SEDs that have been in the business for less than a year.
Yeah.
So you work your business at your own pace, and that's staying focused and working the business. Even if you're like I like to say, even if you're like a runner and you get wore out and you start walking, keep walking. Don't stop, because once you stop, you're gonna start going backwards. And just don't stop.
That's good advice.
Even if you have to slow down, just don't stop.
Good advice, Josh. And last question: what products do you use on your beard? Everyone wants to know. Before we wrap up this call.
Okay, so I wash it every morning, and I really don't care what I wash it with, but normally it's with the black IRT, or here lately I've been using the Renew because it's like softer, but it makes my beard softer a little bit. And then I use the blowout cream right after I got a shower. When my beard's wet, I put the blowout cream in and blow dry it and comb it down, and that's it. And then I put Rejuvenique in before I go to bed.
It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Josh. Okay,
you're no problem.
Thank you so much for everybody jumping on the call, because honestly, it's neat to hear the other side of the supportive partners. But yeah, this is going to help a lot of people. So thank you guys for jumping on.
Thanks for having us.
Big love, everybody.